Hey, welcome back to Acoustic Interlude. I'm John McDonnell. We're broadcasting live today from the 30A Songwriters Festival. And you know what? We ran into an old buddy of ours. He's been here 3, maybe 4 years in a row. Please welcome Tommy Womack.
Hello.
Hey, Tommy, how are you doing,
John?
man?
I'm doing fine. Doing fine.
Glad to hear it. You got a song you can do for us?
Sure. This is a new one. It's called You Don't Get Over Love. Thought about writing you a letter. I'd make it long, I'd say it wrong, I'd scare you half to death. And in the end, things wouldn't be much better. I think they would if I say it good, and you'd still be on my chest. 'Cause you don't get over love. You don't get over love. Get over spells of blues, bad news and bad reviews. You don't get over love. Thought about just dropping in to see you with some bald-faced falsehood, like I was in your neighborhood. We'd laugh, we'd cry, have a bone crunch and hug goodbye. I swear to keep in touch, and all to death or do more harm than good. You don't get over love. You don't get over love. You get over broken bones, a heavy Jones and student loans. You don't get over love. You don't get over love. You don't get over love. Get over the common cold. You might even get over getting old. You don't get over love.
Live from the 30A Songwriters Festival, that's Tommy Womack on Acoustic Interlude on WUWF. Great little opener there, Tommy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, I was wondering what kind of wild story you're going to tell us this time, and you showed up with blood all over your guitar, so that's got to be a story.
Well, I left it all on the stage last night, John. Will Kimbrough and I played at the Hibiscus at 5, and this happens sometimes when I play with Will, because it becomes not just a songwriter circle, it gets jammy.
Yeah.
And we extend the songs and we just jam. And I usually, Will can play circles around anybody, so I let him just play lead guitar to his heart's content, and I play rhythm. And the longer you go, the harder you start playing, and you wind up with, my forefinger was raking across the guitar string so much that I've worn a big spot in my forefinger about a third of an inch long here, and it started bleeding while I was playing last night. And I didn't think anything about it until I got my guitar out just a little bit ago, and there's blood all over the strings and there's blood all over the guitar.
That's got to be a song in there somewhere. Blood all over the strings.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. We've had blood on the tracks.
Yeah,
so now
exactly.
We'll have blood on the strings.
So what have you been writing lately?
I am working on a memoir.
Are you really?
I am part of the Escape to Create Foundation here in Seaside. They sponsor 6 artists a year. They put you up in a bungalow and pay you a weekly stipend for a month just to sit and do your art. And
really?
I have been working on a new memoir. I've had one memoir out already. It was the story of Government Cheese,
right?
That band I was in. And this time it's going to be sort of a sequel and a prequel both. We're going to go back and forwards and write down a bunch of my recollections. And that's what I'm working on in my cottage in Seaside when I'm not, seeing people or playing the 30A festival gigs.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a record. I've done one recording session up in Woodstock, New York with Ross Rice producing. And I got 11 tracks, of which I'm happy with about 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
And
well, that's not bad, about half.
No, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. And I am planning to get up to see him again in April or May and do another session with him, because I've had a year to listen to the songs and decide what I want to do differently. And the record is kind of subservient to the book right now. I really want to get the book done and start passing it around to friends, see if anybody knows of anybody who'd like to put it out.
Sure. Oh, it's never too early to start looking for a publisher.
Yeah.
So, yeah you got to do that. So how long are you going to be hanging out here in your cottage writing?
I'll be here till February 2nd.
Oh, wow.
2 weeks from today.
So you're about halfway through your
I am halfway
project there.
through, exactly, yeah.
Are you halfway through where you wanted to be as far as the writing is concerned?
I am just about, yeah.
Oh, good.
I almost have a first draft done. I could have that done by tonight or tomorrow. And then I'll have 2 weeks to make a second draft out of it, which is where it gets fun, because you just go through it and you tighten up all the prose. And, when you write a first draft, you'll have 3 adjectives where you just need 1, and you'll have run-on sentences
Sure.
that you need to cut into pieces, and you just make it readable. That's what the second draft is. And so if I get out of here with a good second draft of it, or even a third draft maybe,
Yeah, you'll be happy.
I'll be happy, yeah.
Sounds good, man. We're talking to Tommy Womack from the 30A Songwriters Festival. I'm John McDonnell. It's Acoustic Interlude, and Tommy's got 2 more songs for us.
All right. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to do a song that I wrote one morning after a really great gig. I played a gig in St. Louis that was just fantastic, and I had a ball. And I wrote this song the next morning after I got an email that told me that it wasn't as great a gig as I thought it was. And the song's called I Thought I Was Fine, and it originally had another tune to it that was a straight-ahead rip-off of John Prine's song, and the song got nicknamed I Thought I Was Prine. So I have changed the tune to it, kept the words, and it's another thing I'm recording in Woodstock, just like that first song was.
Cool.
It's a new one. I'm going to try to do just new ones for you today.
Hey, great.
I thought I was fine, I didn't know the choices were mine. I could have said no. Now I'm out driving with no peace of mind. People knew better. I thought I was fine. I changed all my strings, they were all clear and bright. The stars were out shining, it was a beautiful night. I thought I could see, didn't know I was blind. Some people clapped, I thought I was fine. My mama loves me, I got some good friends. The road is forever, fun never ends. I've known destruction, women and wine. Last night was different, I thought I was fine. My grandfather died in a house that he built. He never knew pleasure, he never knew guilt. He never touched liquor, never touched wine. I never did like him, he thought he was fine. You can tie one on, get a nice buzz, tomorrow will dawn, it always does. I'll carry this fear in the back of my mind. It'll happen again when I thought it was fine. When I thought it was fine. One more? Yeah. All right. This is another new one. This is for my oldest brother, Wayman, born in Little Rock, Arkansas in April 1941. I wish I'd known you better, but you were born too soon. I was wearing diapers when you were on your honeymoon. You went off in the Air Force, took Susie for your wife. I screwed it up. New song, sorry. Starting from the top. Excuse me, folks. I wish I'd known you better, but you were born too soon. I was wearing diapers when you were on your honeymoon. You went off in the Air Force, came home when you could. I wish I'd known you better, but what I knew was good. You played football with Elvis, took Susie for your wife, got stationed up in Billings and had a military life. You smoked more Camel cigarettes than anybody should. I wish I'd known you better, but what I knew was good. Then there came Juanita, she wasn't good for you. Then you got it right at last when you hooked up with Lou. She went 6 months before you, we all knew soon you would. I wish I'd known her better, but what I knew was good. Comes a time to say goodbye and send you on your way. Turn your body into ashes and get on with our day. To have one conversation now, I surely wish we could. I wish I'd known you better, but what I knew was good. What I knew was good.
Nice one. Tommy Womack from the 30A Songwriters Festival on Acoustic Interlude. Now, last time, or maybe the time before, were you telling me about another brother? How many brothers do you have?
I have two. Wayman was the oldest. He's 20 years older than me. He was more like an uncle than a brother.
Yeah.
He was out of the house before I was born. And he passed away 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I have a middle brother, Jerry, who is a high school teacher and track coach in Kentucky, in Madisonville, where the rest of the family lives. And then I have an older sister, Rena, who is in Madisonville. She's a housewife. And then there's me. I'm the baby of four.
Now, wasn't it Jerry? I think it was you. It was telling me you had a brother. You really got along great when you were kids and growing up, but you kind of took different political paths. Yeah.
Yeah, very good memory. Yes, that's Jerry. He is a hardcore right-wing Republican. He's a public school teacher and he's a right-wing Republican.
Figure that
one out. Yeah. He is a vet, a military veteran, and he is, let's just say, super opinionated. His Facebook page is interesting, and it's a little brittle at holiday times.
Mm-hmm. Can you guys, get along though? Like during the holidays at least?
Yeah. We do. We make our best effort to, and it's a shame. He's my brother,
Sure, yeah.
And I wish, we don't hang out or anything.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It is, but it happens,
Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad person. He wouldn't hurt anybody. And
sure.
He's a church goer and a grandfather, and he's a good fella. He's just got he could have his own AM daytime talk show. Let's say
easily.
that.
He's that opinionated.
He could give Michael Savage a run for his money.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. He's that fierce.
Yeah, really. It's Michael Savage. I hope there's no Michael Savage fans listening right now. Probably not to public radio, but yeah, he's out there. I mean, he is way, way out there.
Well,
on the right.
Jerry might not be as bad as Michael Savage, but Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, no problem. He could kick their butts.
Easily. Yeah, with one hand tied behind his back, probably. Tell me briefly what you've got coming up in the spring. Hopefully you're going to get the book launched and you're going to go back and work on your album. You got any fun projects coming up? Any fun travel plans or anything?
We are booking dates now for the spring, which ordinarily by this time you would like to have a lot of the spring booked up, but I'm not one of those big-time artists that books way out ahead of time. Things tend to fill in at the last minute just when we're about to lose the house or have one of the cars repossessed. Things fall into place just in time for that. I will be at the Rudyard Kipling in Louisville, February 8th. I will be at the Red Light Cafe in Atlanta, February 14th. I will be in Athens, Georgia at a small theater, and I can't recall the name of it. That will be February 15th. February 21st, I think it is, I'll be at the Bluebird in Nashville with Will Kimbrough. There are some gigs in March that I'm blanking on. I mean, after the book is finished, I'll just be shopping it. And as is my tendency, I'll probably be tinkering on the book endlessly. That's what I did with Cheese Chronicles. And that'll take up a bunch of time. And when I get up to Woodstock and can work on the record more in the spring, then I'll do that. Mm-hmm. And there's not really a lot of big plans aside from that,
That was pretty impressive, though, all those dates you rattled off like that.
4.
Hey, but
gotta have more than that.
A lot of people can't remember what's going on tomorrow. Where they're supposed to be without somebody telling them. Speaking of Will Kimbrough, he was here yesterday with Bridget DeMeyer, and she was sitting right where you are. So Will was sitting like right here, 2 feet in front of me, and I was watching him play. I mean, he was like building up steam. We had them together for almost an hour playing, and by the end of the hour he was just flying, man. His fingers are just incredible. I'm surprised his fingers weren't bleeding after the performance he put on yesterday.
He has better technique.
Oh, God, he's got wonderful technique.
Yeah. I love watching his pick in hand and seeing how he does it. He can keep the fingernails right on his hands. I can't do that. I tend to bite them off or rip them off. But Will has those specially grown fingernails that just can finger pick the strings so well. And he's incredible. Every time I play with Will, it's like getting a guitar lesson for free. It is getting a guitar lesson for free.
Yeah, it is, you know. Some of the best lessons you could probably get.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, most people can't get lessons like that, even if they had the money to pay them.
Yeah, I've learned a great deal about guitar playing just from playing with Will, just from watching him play.
Yeah. You got 2 more songs you can do for us?
Sure.
This early Sunday afternoon on Acoustic Interlude, broadcasting live from the 38 Songwriters Festival.
This is something from the Now What record. I'll probably play this when I play at Bud and Alley's at 6:30, playing with Webb Wilder, and that's the Sunday evening gig. I've been to London, I've been to Rome, played my shows and come back home. The Golden Goose ain't landed yet. This is as good as it's gonna get. iPod's playing old Cheap Trick. My oh my, you've grown up quick. Trying to keep this kitchen clean. That's all real life really means. Another dollar, another day. I shouldn't look back, but I do anyway. Dad's in the ground, Mom's on the way. Play that cheap trick, play. Play that cheap trick, play. Pull those records off the shelf, sit up late and doubt myself. Ain't no fuss and ain't no sweat. This is as good as it's gonna get. Love my son and love my wife. Try like hell to love my life. Jesus is my saving grace, but I don't always know my place. Another dollar, another day. I shouldn't look back, but I do anyway. Dad's in the ground, Mom's on the way. Play that cheap trick, play. Play that cheap trick, play. Played the game and I've sowed some oats, ran myself down people's throats, banged my head against the wall. All in all, I've had a ball. $100 to play 3 sets. This is as good as it's gonna get. The future's shorter than the past. My oh my, you've grown up fast. Another dollar, another day. I shouldn't look back, but I do anyway. Dad's in the ground, Mom's on the way. Play that cheap trick, play. Play that cheap trick, play. Mama's alright, Daddy's alright, the boy's alright, we're all alright, we're all alright. Here's another one from the Now What record. This is called On and Off the Wagon. I'm on and off the wagon. I go from day to day. On and off the wagon. I live my life that way. Sometimes I like the wagon. Sometimes I like to walk. On and off the wagon, having me a ball. I've learned to know my limit. I've learned to pass it by. I've learned to make my wife moan. I've learned how to make her cry. Sometimes I like the window. Sometimes I like the aisle. On and this way a while. I'm smart as a whip, I'm dumb as wood. I'd sleep with the angels if I only could, but that's not gonna happen. Not a guy like me, on and off the wagon, all locked into being free. Sometimes I like the wagon, sometimes I like the street. On and off the wagon, on and off my feet. On and off the wagon, on and off my feet.
Nice. I like that. I like them both.
Thank you.
Tommy Womack from the 38 Songwriters Festival. I'm John McDonnell. The program is Acoustic Interlude. We'll be back in a few minutes with Ellis Paul.